All right, again, here it is, the commissioner. I want to continue to make short videos for you guys who are just getting really started in the league. And what I want to do is after the draft, I really sat back and took a look. And I realized when I showed you guys the draft rankings, and for those of you who do not know where to go look at the draft rankings, I'm going to share my screen with you really quick. All right. And here it is. So basically, this is my page. This is my team. This is what it shows up. This is my roster. I'm really going to talk to you about some off-brand positions today and how if you strengthen those, you strengthen your team. I'm going to explain that in 1 second. But what I want to do is just show you right here. It says view my report card, right? So if you go and you view your report card, it says takes the fantasy journey to take the top with an A+ draft grade rating in his first projection, right? And then it gives you some verbiage. It says best draft pick was Bryce Hall. Let me talk to you about why I took Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall was an absolute beast last year. He played for the Jets and then he blew out his ACL. And if you guys get a minute, go look at your draft grades too, because it really helps you. So what happens here is that he's dropped down in the draft because he was questionable, but he will be playing. So if you look, I got a top tier running back in the 5th round. In the 5th round, I got a top tier running back. So let's go here. My worst is Deshaun Watson. Now, let me tell you why I took him. He's a former quarterback for Houston. He got traded. He's the only person that his full contract is fully guaranteed. So he set the bar for Burrow and Jalen Hurts and all these other guys that got these mega contracts. So he has something to prove. So he can sit on my bench, and worst case scenario, he can be trade bait. I can look at letting him go. But according to them, they say he's the worst. But Cleveland has Amari Toomer. They have Nick Chubb. They have another wide receiver that's escaping me right now. And what they've really been doing, they got one of the best D linemen in the game. So Cleveland should make some noise. They'll probably be a wild card team, if that. But let's look here. My players to take a look at, really, Travis Kelce. I just made a video about him being injured. But this guy's he's not only a tight end #1, he is a wide receiver #1. And that says something. Derrick Henry, he's ranked 18th at the position, 18th overall in the league, but he's a workhorse and he's 29. So he has something to prove, because if you know anything about football, right around the time running backs start turning 30, their contracts come up. And they have to have a big year when they're 29 years old in order to get that mega contract. T. Higgins is with Burrows. He's just an absolute animal. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback, definitely top 10, maybe top 5, depending upon who you're talking to. DeAndre Hopkins. Tennessee doesn't have anybody that can stretch the field. When they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles, they didn't have a #1 receiver. Hopkins, who he was with Arizona, but Kyler Murray was hurt last year, so he had an off year. So as a free agent, he went to Tennessee. They're going to need him to stretch the field so that Henry can run the ball. So that's why I chose him. Mike Williams, is a #1 wide receiver with the Chargers. So, but let's pause there. I don't want to go through my whole lineup. That's not my point. This is my point right here. This guy right here is Tyler Bass, and I'm willing to venture if I asked many of you who he plays for, you would know unless you looked him up. He plays for Buffalo. Buffalo has a high-octane offense, and what they do is they often, get in the red zone. They're consistently scoring, so that's field goals and or extra points. And what I want you to understand here is why he was very pivotal is because I tried to go against the grain. Everybody was grabbing wide receivers. What I did was I got tier 1A wide receivers, but I got tier 1 running backs, and I got a tier 1 quarterback. So be on the lookout on the waiver wire, trying to find people, kickers, defenses that are having breakout years that will supplement your points if people like my Travis Kelce get injured. That's just my tip for the week. I want to wish you guys all the best. I still plan to bust your ass when we play. And according to the analytics, I should come out. My draft was an A+. I should come out no less than 12-3. I'll take 11-4. But the draft day power rankings, I came in third behind Mike and Jawan. So I'm eager to see how this turns out. So best of luck for week 1, and I will catch you during week 2.